doing with it? How are you doing with the internal? And we'll just go around the circle. How are you doing with all the, I call it dense energy at this point, all the dense energy that's coming from this?
I'm crying a lot, which is very interesting because until 10 years ago, I really couldn't cry. I mean, I've had so much tragedy in my life and I never cried. And network chiropractic really helped me with that. But it has been extreme in the last 6 months. And it's funny, I'll be driving along and I'll start to cry for no reason. Most of the time it's for no reason. And then I'll hear some music and I think, this is the way heaven must sound. This is the most gorgeous thing. And I start crying. And then I hear something sad and I'm crying. But nothing seems, it just seems like the energies are passing through and then they're gone. And I'm not attaching.
Nice.
So I'm appreciative of that. And you've helped me with that.
Thank you. Thank you. And I think that's exactly what you have to do is just let it move through. Keep letting it move on by. Melissa, how are you doing with all of this?
I'm trying to keep myself stable and not, go off the deep end, emotionally, politically, and thinking. And I'm just here, and I'm glad that they finally are waking up. I'm happy that you guys are finally looking the truth in the eye and seeing just how horrible it is. But I don't stay in the this is horrible, purely curious standpoint at this point.
Yeah, that's a good way to stand, is just be curious about it. And I'm glad you're not staying in the horribleness of it. As horrible as some of the things are, and I don't know what everybody in here knows and what they don't know, especially from the history. And if you listen or follow Q, which I don't follow them, but there's other people that talk about the same things. And it's all about the disclosure of all of the stuff that's going on and has been going on for centuries. Like none of this stuff is new. This has been going on for eons. And the disclosure of all of these things, I think, is part of the dense energy we're feeling. So it's kind of that weird shift into whatever's next. But it is what will take us into whatever's next. Without this step, we can't get there. Right? We're not going to be able to make the step, which is why it's important to stay on the wave of your spirit, so you can. It's an easier ride. And if you do look at it like it's horrible, like some of it's just flat out grotesque, and I don't even know. But if you believe in the idea that we all made a contract and we all said, okay, I'm going to come down here for the purpose, and those people came down here for the purpose of that, which is just weird to me. I don't understand that whole theology. But if they did that, I am gracious to them. I am thankful for them, because they are what's taking humanity to the next step. And I think the best thing we can do for them is help clear their karma. So when they get back here, they can start with the clarity instead of a trauma of coming out of that lifetime. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I have a question with that. So okay, so if you think about it all as a story, somebody has to play the villain to be the catalyst for change. Is that true?
Well, the hero story, it certainly is, right? If that's Joseph Campbell's outline, right, of how all this works, is the hero's journey. There has to be a villain somewhere, right? If we lived truly in Nirvana or the Garden of Eden, or whatever word you would use for that kind of a scenario, we would never have to be going through this. But somehow we took ourselves out of that, or we were taken out of that. I don't know which way, it depends on what story you listen to. And it's put us in this place where there are villains and there is evil, or what we consider evil, but that evil is the catalyst to greater good. So it's the yin and the yang. No matter how deep the evil goes or how good the good gets, it's where you choose to put yourself, right? And I'm like literally in my head seeing the yin yang symbol, right? So if you choose to put yourself at the top of the light instead of in the deepest of the darkness, then there you are, right? And for whatever reason, some people have chosen to come in and be that catalyst for, if you agree with it from that state, right? Or do you agree, and this is like one of the disclosures that's coming right now, is the alien version. Were we the offspring of aliens, like literally from like other planets kind of thing. And that came here, and they, right, the Nephillium are considered that, part column angels, part column aliens. And we were the offspring, and somewhere the DNA altered, right? We know it was about 20,000 years ago. I think there's a definite break in the DNA structure that they can see in bones throughout centuries of finding, like we know these came from this period and that wasn't there. And at this point, this started, and that's when we grew our neocortex. And I don't know, where do you look at the story and go, I fit into this? And all I can say is, okay, whatever. I can only fit into this right here, right now. And all I can do is teach people how to stay calm and stay in peace through the ride. That's what I came here to do. That's what I was put here to do. I don't know. How do you look at it? You have to decide that.
I just want to say that, Melissa, at age 27, it's much harder to stay in calm and peace than it is at my age. So I salute you for being able to do that.
Thank you for saying that. I didn't even think of that, but you're right. It totally.
Saturn return at age 27 is just, it's a lot to deal with.
I don't think late 20s is fun at all. Or like that this whole entire thing is obviously more than meets the eye. Like it's a spiritual war. It's not just a political, like 3D realm kind of thing. It's a spiritual war. It really is a spiritual war, because all these dark forces are calling in dark forces to do this. And I think that is like the most mind-boggling thing I've heard of. It's probably the most difficult thing I've had to put my head around. Not the grotesque stuff that they did. It's just the fact that they were calling in negative entities to help them take over humanity, basically.
You have to look at it from both sides, right? Because you're right, I believe, on that side. And I forget whose work I was reading. But they were basically stating that the Essenes literally sat down pre-Christ era and literally started calling in light. That was the whole point of the Essene movement, was to call in light because of the darkness that was exceeding in the planet at that point. Like, we're talking, like, this is the beginning of civilization. This is the beginning of, right, Earth as we seem to understand it. And they were doing that back then. They were sitting there. So if they were calling in light, somebody was calling in darkness, right?
And we don't really know what's dark and what's light. I mean, when you really look at it, some people I know who I would think are what I would consider the light bearers of the planet have totally opposite belief than I do about this election, and well, I mean, you just don't know. As you said before, you pick what resonates with you, but in terms of really understanding the totality, I don't think we know.
No. Yeah, I would agree with that. Lelaine, your microphone's off. Jump in here. First of all, where are you at with all of this? And then what are your thoughts on everything we just talked about?
All right, here we go. Do you have an hour? I'm going deep.
I got it.
Well, I mean, for the longest time, I have worked on staying sovereign in my mind, because that's the only way that I could achieve peace, is to not really get sucked in. And I feel myself getting sucked in. As soon as I click on and I see the debates, my brain starts to say, how could you think that way? Or how could you think that way? And then I start to get sucked in, and I start to have negative emotions. And then I say to myself, wait, there's a spirit dwelling in that meat suit. So hold on. And then I create peace in myself. And I literally say, this is data. And what am I going to do with this data?
Good.
So that's how I shift. So I have to literally just snap out of it and go, this is data. What am I going to do about this now? How am I going to interact with this entanglement that's already happening?
Can I interject for just 2 seconds? I think the word information causes a problem.
Information?
Yeah, I like the word data a ton because it breaks right? It puts kind of a line between. When we start saying the word information, people think about what they think they know. Right? They don't
Right.
have information. And I think it causes a confusion sometimes, because even when you said it just now, I was like, like I had to start and stop for a second. Because the word itself, I think, causes a problem, which is interesting.
Because when we think about the word information, we think that we're receiving truth.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Right.
when we think about data, and we have been using this word around the house lately, ever since I said, hey guys, it's data. Think about it as data. What are we going to do? A person's behavior? Okay, they displayed data. What are you going to do, or how are you going to feel about that in regards to not getting emotional, but basically pivoting however you need to pivot? So I've been staying very neutral. Well, not neutral. Basically, I don't really watch a lot of the news in terms of that information because I need to just basically get little bits of it and then pull out. So I'll go in and I'll look at like the news, those things, rather than articles. I'll actually go in and listen to the person. Like I'll listen to Trump, what he's saying, rather than a news article saying this is what he said. I just listen. I'll go to the video itself, and then I will sit in my heart space and go, okay, what information did you get? And did you stay too long? Did you stay too long? Because now how do you feel? Because then I will feel the shift of like, like my battery just going, shutting down. And I feel like we stayed 1 minute too long. And so I just dawned on me, I'm going to have to put a timer that goes off. Sort of, if I'm going to listen to these videos, I'm going to have to just have.
Can I tell you, not, I mean, for all of you, and I think anybody else who watches this afterwards, what I do in those instances, and I do this with books too, before I ever pick up a book and read it, I will ask first of all, is the information in here relevant to me? Do I need to, and even with the videos for Biden, for Trump, for Harris, I apologize to the vice president right now, I can't remember your name, any of the videos about any of them, I will ask first, do I need to watch this? Is it going to uplift me? Is it going to give me some relevance? Is it going to do anything or give me data? I love the word data. Give me data that I can use to help put good energy back out in the planet. Because if it doesn't, I have a girlfriend that's so political, everything, good night, bless her heart. She loves to send on every stinking social media channel we are on together. It's just bombardment of everything. And I will literally look at it and then she'll text me, did you look at that one? And I'm like, actually, no, I didn't, because I asked and I heard no. And she's like, oh, good for you. So ask first before you, and that way it takes out, I have to like set a timer. Ask if it's even relevant to you at this point. And I think like this is the honest truth. You've already decided who you're going to vote for. Do you really even need to keep watching this stuff and dragging you back down into the negativity?
Yeah, it's sort of like all of the political stuff, doesn't matter if it's Democrat or Republican. I just had an image of like me checking on a pie, but a poop pie. Opening up the oven and going, what? How's it looking in there? It's still poop. Surprise! Oh, did it magically turn into like berry? Oh, no, it's still poop. It's still poop pie. So why are you going to the source that you know?
That's hysterical. Oh no. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's hysterical. So I think the point for today is to like put us all in a situation where we can just like raise our consciousness. And I said something yesterday. I had to go back and listen to it again in the class on Saturday morning, that you're not here to serve humanity, which goes totally against everything we've been told for eons. Like you're here to right? But it drains us, and it has for eons. All of humanity has just been drained and drained. I think if you serve your heart first, you serve your spirit first, you get energized. And then the byproduct of you serving your heart is serving humanity. So I want to see where today, what can we formulate where we can serve humanity? We'll take care of our hearts first and get into a coherent state, and beyond the coherent state, touch our own spirits, and then collectively go into the universe. What is the best thing that, I mean, and everybody come up with your own mind's view of this. What can we give back from a state of wholeness, right? We're going to each get into our state of wholeness, or our 100% self. What can we give back over the foundations of this creation that can, I don't know, either help other people stay in a whole state or help us all bypass this election so we don't have to fall into the dredges of it. What thinks you? Click back in and give me ideas.
I think our vibration's everything. So by being who you truly are in your heart, you are serving. I don't think you have to serve beyond that. That's all. That's all.
I think that's it in a nutshell, which is incredible. It makes it feel easier too, doesn't it?
Really.
Makes it feel easier. All right, so we're going to be our 100% self. We're going to hit that high vibration. What else do we need? Anybody else? And we just want to stop there. And that's where staying in your heart space just kind of, because if I'm with my spirit, I can't be any of that stuff, right? So everybody take a few deep breaths, the big inhales, nice long deep exhales. We're just going to go straight into a heart coherent state. Joe said the word light bearers earlier. We're going to be light bearers to the world. I had a vision the other day that the bushel, right? Don't hide your light under a bushel is one of the old adages in scripture and other ancient texts. And I think this human meat suit is the bushel. It is what's hiding the light. So we're shedding our human meat suit for a few minutes. And I want you to see yourself as light. I want you to see yourself as light. As you're inhaling and exhaling, we're calming the system down. Big inhales, nice long deep exhales. Witness yourself as light. I witness myself as light. I witness you as light. And wherever your awareness is right now, I want you to move it deep into your heart space. Keeping your awareness on your awareness. Be aware of the fact that you're in your heart. And I want you to intentionally seek out your own spirit. Become aware of you as that spirit. And then recognize this is the 100% true who you really are. This is the trueness of you. And then notice what it feels like. And as you inhale and exhale, we're starting to move this feeling, whether it's peace, love, joy, profound love. I want you to start feeling it circulating through your systems with every inhale. hitting every energy center, every chakra lights up with that living color, all the way through the top of your head, coming out of the top of your head, and then arcing out around you in that toroidal field, that donut-shaped field of energy, all the way around your body, coming back up and in through the root. And I want you to keep breathing into that toroidal field until you can expand it to about 9 feet around you. Open up that field. See the energy in patterns of waves. See the energy in forms of color. As you inhale and exhale, recognizing that you're a vessel of light, you are a light being, you are energy first. The energy creates the physical. And we're just sending this out over the planet. You can even take your energy field, take your awareness and move it out into into the atmosphere. Move it out into the atmosphere around the earth. See yourself as a satellite, just moving from north to east to south to west, moving in a huge circle around the globe. If you happen to notice the 5G field that's been set up around our globe, notice your system produces a higher volume of electromagnetic energy. The human emotion in play counteracts the 5G. The positive human emotion in play can counteract the 5G. And as you rotate around the surface of our atmosphere, neutralize the 5G energy that's causing negative effects on our planet. And by simply using the words, I neutralize this 5G energy anywhere that it's causing negative effects on my planet. As you're rotating around the globe, I want you to see if you can notice places where the energy might seem denser. It's not the same in every place. See if you can stand over those spots and project more peace from the Creator, from the Source, through you, through your spirit, projecting this peace down over the planet. As you're circling this planet, I want you to notice the other beings that are falling into a line around you. They're coming around you. They're filling the gaps in between us. And I want you to tune in to this harmonic. Tune into this harmonic of peace and love and joy, compassion. And what I'm hearing is if we can stay in this harmonic of vibrations through this period of time, you will see a greater light than you've ever seen. You will realize yourself as a greater light than you've ever been able to even imagine. There is more to this story than any of us have any idea. And I want you to take a breath. And I want you to feel the glory. Feel the magnificence. Feel the purity and love. There is way more to this story than we have any idea. And I focus on that side. I focus on the side that holds the purity of love, the sanctity of life, the beauty of the human spirit. And I ride that wave. I want you to notice if you can feel the harmonic of rejoicing that's circling around the planet. We call it the 144,000 that are supposed to be gathered. I think the number itself is arbitrary. But tipping the scales means we have to keep our vision and our focus on the sanctity of life and the beauty of the human spirit and the purity and the love that comes from Creator, from creation. From a God that's higher than any of the supposed evil we think we see on this planet. Now I want you to turn your awareness back to your spirit, and in this level of vibration, witness yourself as your spirit form, being a light bearer to this world. Keep yourself so focused on this energy. As it grows, you grow with it. In an instant, in a twinkling of an eye, you change in response to this level of energy. Feel it moving through every cell of your body, altering your DNA. And then bring this feeling into your heart space, into your human heart. And just hold it there. And now see yourself with your awareness come back to the earth, come back to this planet. I want you to see yourself walking your life in this high energy, in this harmonic. Notice every footstep. And how every footstep you take ripples the energy out from underneath you. Feel that energy moving out from underneath you. And then claim this being inside of you. Claim this spirit being as who you are. And we leave this resonation of hope, of peace, of love, of kindness, of charity, of joy, of satisfaction. We leave it in the field around us, in the field around the earth. And whenever you're ready, I want you to take a few deep breaths. Take your time. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. But when you open your eyes, don't let this harmonic leave you. The goal is to start to participate in it every step you take. That means you have to feel it. You have to notice it. You have to be aware of it. You have to be more aware of this harmonic than you are aware of the harmonic of dense energy that this planet has created. Or that we've created on this planet. The planet didn't create it, we did. Humanity did. Become aware of that energy that you truly are. And when you open your eyes, hang on to it. I love the new picture. It's awesome. That's great. Well, thank you for participating in that. What does it make you feel like?
It made me feel energized. It was great.
Energized is a good way, especially going into the day. That's perfect.
It's very powerful.
Good. Stay in that floaty place. They say if your head can produce it, your body will do it.
And it was interesting because you were talking about 5G, and 5G, they're setting up these towers, and you could imagine that they're closer to the earth. So when you float up like a satellite outside and you're in space, then you're above the 5G. So you can feel that it does not affect you.
If you see the pictures, if you go looking, and literally you can find pictures of this online, of the graphics of what it's like a web, literally, and the satellites are a part of it.
Okay.
The satellites are what beam some of this stuff back and forth around the globe. So if you get above it, right, get above, which is exactly what you're saying, you have to be above it to, I think the vibration itself, so there's two ways to get above it. You can physically move your awareness above it and be out of it, or you can raise your vibration to this harmonic of original creation, right? The Om of creation, that original, that supersedes 5G and anything else man creates, right? So whether you actually got above it in your awareness form, you did get above it in your vibration form. That makes sense?
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. All right. I bless you all. Thank you for being here. I witnessed myself as light. You're welcome. I witnessed myself as light. I witness you as light. I bless me. I bless you. I love me. I love you. Have a great day.
Love to all. Thank you so much, Christy.
Love you all.